Hey toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. I've got my buddy Nick here with me, and we're taking a look at a Tyco trucking set that's themed for G.I. Joe. I believe the official title is the G.I. Joe Rocket Base with Recon Satellite. I picked this up not too long ago at a toy shop in New Jersey, and it had walked in while we were there. The people who had it, I think the kid's parents or whatever. Yeah. So it didn't get passed around too much. So it's in really nice shape, like impressively nice shape as far as it being a cardboard building and a cardboard backdrop and stuff like that. But there are some missing pieces to it, so it's not a 100% complete setup you're looking at here. Did you have any of the Tyco tracks or things as a kid?
I had none of it.
None of it. You seem like the total deerhead guy that would be into it.
Even know it existed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not have any slot car like sets as a kid, but I had friends that had them, and I played with them with other people. But I think I knew there was a G.I. Joe one. I vaguely remember seeing the commercial as a kid, but I would have forgotten about it. Like I've seen it more recently online. I don't know. Have you ever seen the commercial for this thing?
I have.
It's like super exciting. They did a great job of making it high stakes. The Cobras are chasing the Joe truck. The Joe truck has to pick up a missile, and when it races around the track, if you hit a switch, it actually goes into a cave over here by Nick and drops the missile off in the Cobra base, and Cobras can like hide it.
Yeah. That's
how massive this thing is. It doesn't even all fit on what you see. Technically, that Cobra base is supposed to be behind this wall. It's crazy that it's this enormous.
I wonder what the price point was.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because it's electric, so that bumps it up. Tyco was on the lower end for electronic stuff, but it's still, I bet you it was a $40–50 toy.
I'll have to look online. I'm sure I can find like a Best or a Toys R Us, wish book that has it in it. Some of the things I thought was really impressive with this particular one being that it didn't get passed around a whole lot. It still has a sticker sheet that's mostly complete. There are a few stickers that have been applied to the vehicles and things like that. I love that they use the Cobra, the enemy logo, as if the bad guys would brand all their stuff the enemy. But that's the way that it appeared on the packaging. There's a lot of little nuances of this that are clearly the people weren't Hasbro working on a G.I. Joe product. Somebody else kind of modifying their product for G.I. Joe. When you look at the box, there are no official G.I. Joe characters on it. Like, it's not even like Grunt and Breaker, like those early guys. It's just army men. There are blue soldiers in the Cobra base that don't have the face masks on. They maybe got to see the '83 base toy, because the walls on this base kind of similar to that with the silver lines with the square panels. But definitely like the tanks and the little army men and stuff are just reused from other Tyco sets.
Yeah, they literally just, I don't know if Hasbro came to them or Tyco came to them and said, hey, we want to do something.
Let's make a deal here.
And they just, the tanks, the trucks, it's just regular Tyco pieces.
Yeah, these aren't custom Mobats or anything like that. They didn't modify the turrets to make it look like the stuff.
You just add the stickers to it, like the Huey has G.I. Joe on the side. It's just a generic Huey helicopter. So it's just stuff that they had that they just put through a set together and put G.I. Joe's name on it and licensed it that way.
Right.
So they also had the train set.
Yes, there's a train set. Actually, I had picked up a train set a while ago at Columbus at the flea market, and I showed it briefly in a flea market find. But that I think was in a little rougher shape than this, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I don't think we actually tried to build that.
I know it didn't have the box though.
Where the box was totally split open or something.
It was like
something. It was rough, but it was a good good source of parts. And these are very hard to complete nowadays. If you want a complete one of these, you're probably buying two sets to get all the little guys, the little crates.
We don't even have all the little guys out.
Yeah, there's a baggie of them.
Tons of little guys. Here's a little baggie.
It comes with plastic parachute guys.
Yeah.
So this guy has a loop on his head that you can attach a parachute to him. It's definitely a neat set as far as lots of little gimmicks built into it. I can't imagine having this set up in my house. People always complain about the flag, and the flag is longer, but this is really deep, and it's so easy to crush. And you couldn't put this really on the carpet because it would not lay flat, you know?
The other thing I'm thinking outside the box here, you could use this, just the cardboard, for your G.I. Joes.
Yes.
Forget that it's a train set or a trucking set, because it's got all the roads and it's got rivers, and you could literally. I mean, again, I know, like a hiss is almost the size of this thing, but
right.
For a little kid, it's got to be great.
It's like those. The mat is like those carpets you get as a kid for your Hot Wheels that have the little roads on them.
Yep.
And they put a lot of detail in this. You can tell this was a photograph of something someone made. Like, these are lichens and little rocks and things.
Probably from a train set.
Yeah,
like,
but it's definitely not a painting. And I think it's unique to this set only because the track, when everything's lined up right, there's dirt that goes where the trucks come in, and there's little tiny, like, foxholes or whatever over on the far side for Cobra to fortify, I think. See how it's like little, like, tan U's or gray U's, like for the tanks to park in?
Yeah.
So it was probably made for this, but I'm sure Tyco had a department that just, like, made these little scenic things that they photographed and printed out. I think it's pretty impressive, though, with the backdrop and everything. I like that it has the cave over there. So you actually used little plastic piers, and when the track's big enough, the full length, you can ramp it up on those little piers, and the truck will go into that little cave, into the Cobra base to hide the missile. And I just love that concept of having, like, the hill in the track. There's actually 2 different spots where it crisscrosses so you can have collisions. It's kind of a fun set. And there's a little control panel over there to drive the trucks around. The wonderful building instructions, I really like this. There's pictures of the cardboard buildings, and then you get bend all tabs back and forth aside, and then set this aside. Platform structure, bend tab G, 2 enforcer flaps, and 2 front piece. This is, like, insane. Imagine having a kid try and figure this thing out.
Little Jimmy is not putting this together.
Oh my gosh, no. I mean, maybe they could build the track part. That's not too complicated to follow that picture. These cardboard buildings were kind of a mess. There's also a price list and an order form in here for ordering new parts. So you could get electronic stomper trucks. They were $10.50 a piece. There's Peterbilt yellow truck, a dump truck. You could like they sold all kinds of vehicles that would run on this. And then there's also all kinds of action accessories like a crane pipe loader and boulder loading bulldozer. But those are all probably like construction vehicles and things that go to like their standard trucking sets.
That's when Tyco was at the peak of it, where everyone wanted these kind of sets. The ones that used to go up the wall.
Yes.
Remember then? They used to come back down.
Glow in the dark tracks.
The dark ones. There was Lamborghini versus Ferrari. It was just Tyco had it all. And again, that's what kids wanted back then. Like I said, I never even knew about it, but if I knew about it, I'm sure I would.
What other licensed sets have you seen? I know there's an A-Team set.
Yep, there's a Transformers set.
There's a Transformers one. There's a Knight Rider set.
There's a Mask one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
And I think there's a Silverhawks one.
Well,
there's a lot of weird... But it all works pretty well. They... And for the most part, I mean, I don't think they made much custom stuff for this Joe one. But, for most of those, maybe they make the A-Team van... Maybe they made the cop car was new, but it probably already had a cop car. Knight Rider, they had to do kit, but I'm not even sure who he drives against in that set. I've seen it before, I've never looked at it that closely. But, there's probably a lot of pieces that they just kind of...
I think there's a Dukes of Hazzard one.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Rinse and reuse on a lot of these sets, though, I'm sure.
The licensing was probably cheap. Hey, get your name out on anything.
Right. And you said Tyco was in New Jersey? You saw him there?
Morristown, New Jersey.
Morristown, New Jersey. So not that far from us.
No.
I always wonder on those kind of things. Like Cincinnati I believe, is where Kenner was at. And if you ever watch any of the toy collecting shows, like what was Jordan Hembro's show? The toy.
The Toy Hunter.
Toy Hunter. Like he went to Cincinnati and talked to people that designed it. So who knows what's in people's garages and attics in Morristown, New Jersey. There might be prototype tracks and all kinds of things.
People that collect Red Line Hot Wheels, I don't know where they used to make them, but heard stories of people going to garage sales, finding pre-production Redline cars.
That's crazy.
At garage sales, and it found out that the guy's dad or the guy's mom worked for Mattel.
Yeah.
And worked on the Hot Wheel line, and they just got to take that stuff home.
Take it home, and
it was just toys back then. It wasn't this collectible stuff it is now. But I always read stories about that. You know, I went to a yard sale, and this guy took a box out, and it was full of pre-production Redline Hot Wheel cars that are probably worth $300,000. You know, and he paid $20 for the whole box. You know, so like Kevin said, it's probably right. There's probably around New Jersey somewhere.
Dino Rider prototypes and different racetrack prototypes.
Yep.
So, thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos.